Hi, welcome to Yoga with Liza. Happy Easter, day 28. I'm going to send out some quick invites so people can find me. Hi, Nina. Hi, Ethel. I just sent out invitations and hopefully the kids will be coming in. If not, they will be watching this at some later date. Tracy, good to see you. Happy Easter. So, tonight with the kids, I'm going to go through all of the poses of the rainbow. And again, I'm going to share about the legend of the Rainbow Warriors. And the legend of the Rainbow Warriors is, I heard it first as a Hopi legend. And so this is my Hopi grandmother Kachina doll that I got as an adult. My red rocks that I have came from Arizona, which is part of the Hopi reservation near the Petrified Forest. And so the Hopi reservation blends into the Navajo reservation, coming into Four Corners, which is New Mexico, Arizona, Texas, and Utah, I believe. And anyway, so very quickly, the prophecy of the Rainbow Warriors and the future of planet Earth. Basically, the natives, when the white man came and started building the railroads and the steam engines and so forth, have said that there would come a time when the earth would be green again because all of these things were shifting nature. And that at that time, a group of people called the Rainbow Warriors inhabit our planet in the future, and they will come in the time of Great Awakening. A Native American prophecy tells us that when the earth is ravaged and the animals are dying, a new tribe of people shall come unto the earth from many colors, classes, creeds, and who by their actions and deeds shall make the earth green again. They will be known as the Warriors of the Rainbow. And so, Angelo, this is for you. When I texted everybody this morning, I said, Happy Easter, Christ has risen. And I happen to be a practicing Christian. And yet, I like to learn about everybody's faith because my work as a nurse has taught me that people's faith, religion, spirituality, whatever it may be, is something that is very near and dear to each human being. We all want to be loved, we want to give love and receive love. And then we all have a belief in, you can call it a higher power, can call it nature, can call it God. Some people use different names for gods, and some of the ascended masters, Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, and so forth, teach in the form of parables. A parable is a story that teaches us a lesson about life. Greek mythology to me is a group of parables, and the different characters represent different aspects of the human heart. Then there's legend or folklore, which is either a foretelling of the future or a recording of history in some type of way. So the Rainbow Warriors are a group of people that come from all different faiths, all different religions, and work together to make the earth green again, and so that the animals can live and prosper. And when I teach my yoga classes in the warrior poses, and I'm mixing cultures here, Native Americans are different than yoga poses from India, and I'm mixing cultures, but part of what the Rainbow Warriors do is reach across the boundaries of culture to find the commonality that we all have in common. So, to me, the rainbow, God's promise, the Native Americans look at the rainbow as a sign of hope and vision. And so my happiness and my love, and we'll start bringing in other colors of the rainbow up on the wall. And so from here, we're going to bring the right foot forward and the left foot back. And I am going to say hello to Henry, Cora, Wyatt, Ricky, Angelo, and kids in my neighborhood who may be watching, and kids of my son's friends, who I consider my not sons, but I don't have everybody's name memorized. So if you guys text me the names of all of your kids, then I can greet them at the beginning of class. So Warrior 1, bring that right foot forward. Bring that right knee over. Inhale up. And we're going to reach up and feel our Warrior 1 pose. And breathe into it. Bring our hands down. Bring our hands to heart center. Squeeze our palms together. Step forward. Bring the left foot forward and the right foot back. Square off the hips. Inhale up and feel our Warrior 1. And breathe into it. And that knee comes over to the left. And feeling the breath. Bringing our hands to heart center. Gently open. Bring that right foot around so our hips come the long way of the mat. And we bring our hands out in a T, bringing our knees up, bringing the palms up, bringing the palms back down. Feel our Warrior 2. Be level. Breath. Now we're going to take our back hand around and we're going to reach forward, bring our bow up, send out arrows of love and light and healing to the world. And then we're going to reverse and come into our reverse warrior. Breathing into it. And then we're going to bring our hands down to the mat and bring that right knee down and come down into a gentle version of humble warrior. So that's Luna making noise in the background. She always wonders, what are we doing down here? Breathing into it, feeling our humble warrior. breath. Now gently bring that back foot to the mat. Inhale up. Bring ourselves all the way around to the other side. Bring that left knee to the mat. Bring the hands to the inside and feel our humble warrior. We're going to do it all in reverse. Breathing into it. Straighten that left leg. Bring the heel to the mat. Inhale. Bring our arms up. All the way up into our reverse warrior. Breathing into it. Feeling the breath. And the thing that I love, come back to warrior 2, is that by doing warrior 2, 1, 2, 3, reverse, inhale up, shoot out our arrows of love, peace, happiness, breath. And gently bring our hands into heart center. Bring the feet, heel toe, the feet in together. Step, walk, jump. Warrior 3. Shift the weight to the left foot. Bring that right toe back behind. Inhale up, bring the arms up overhead. And this may be where you hold for warrior 3. Maybe you can hinge forward and keep those hands out in front. Level hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And bring the right foot to the mat. In. Bring the left foot back. Gently. Bring the arms straight out in front. Breathing into it. Breath. Warrior 3, right foot on the ground, left foot up, breath. Bring that left foot back to the mat. Feel our chair. Bring our hands all the way up. Inhale all the way up. Bring our right arm down, bring our left arm down. Arch over to one side, bring that arm all the way up and over. Bring the right arm down, bring the left arm up, arch all the way up and over. Come back to center. Ready, guys? We're going to do our lion's breath roar. And gals, bring up our hands, stick out our tongue. Lion's breath roar. One more time, roar. And one more time, roar. Come on back to center. Thank you. Give yourselves a round of applause. You did great tonight. We did warrior 1, 2, 3, reverse, humble. And I'm sure there's something else in there. We did the gentle version. Now, grown-ups, everybody get your blankets and your bolsters and your pillows, and we're going to come in and do some gentle restore and hold the poses for 3 to 5 minutes a piece, depending on which pose we're coming into. And as we come down on the mat, take your blanket or your bolster and bring it under your knees, and then gently let our feet come together. So we're coming into a seated restorative cobbler pose. So we're supporting our knees with the bolster or a blanket or a pillow underneath. And gently, let's stop and smell the flowers. And take a great big inhale in. Blow out the candles. And if you want a mark to aim for, maybe straighten the legs first. And inhale. And blow out the candles on our toes. And a great big inhale in. And blow out the toes. And pausing for a moment, maybe bring the hands to the knees, maybe bring the feet back in and come side to side. Maybe you're holding your feet, maybe you're letting your arms gently come up in front of you so that you're feeling supported. And explaining one of the things that happens when we're still quite a bit. And those of you who are healthcare professionals and already know all of this, thank you for your patience while I explain this to the people who maybe are not. So if we're still for long periods of time, and for example, we always lay on the same side, then the fluid in the body starts to drift over to that side that you're laying on all the time. And then there's little balloons in the lungs that are called alveoli. So you have your main airway, the trachea, that goes down into the bronchial tubes, which are the big tubes in the lungs. And then you come into the alveoli, A-V-E-A-L-O-I, something like that. Spelling is not my forte. And these little sacs of air that are like balloons, when we're still or laying in bed for a long period of time, they start to deflate and they get flat on the bottom. So if you ever left a balloon on the table and you know how it kind of starts to lose its air a little bit and deflate, well, when that happens, then the fluids that are in the abdomen and in the interstitial tissues, little bits of fluid between the lungs and the ribs, a little bit is normal, a lot is not normal. But then those fluids, and from the capillary that are coming in to get oxygenated, fluid starts seeping into the lungs. And that fluid then, if it continues to sit there, can become infected, and that becomes a pneumonia, whether it's a congestive heart failure, but not really. So activity, moving around, taking big deep breaths. When we inhale and blow out the candle, that's called pursed lip breathing, which helps open up those little alveoli, and that's very important. And my friend Billy Joe talks about that on some of her live videos. She's a respiratory therapist who I worked with for years. So our yoga breathing can help us keep healthy lungs. Simply by taking those great big inhales, the audible sighs out, the lion's breath roar, all of those different breath variations are important for our lungs. And that's why I put them into every practice. Okay, enough talking. Legs are out. Gently tuck our heels back, bring our arms forward, and gently come forward into our seated cobbler. Breathing into it. Gently inhale, bring ourselves up. Let our legs gently straighten over the bolster. Bring our hands back behind and feel this gentle back bend. Breathing into it. Maybe we open and close the mouth. Close the mouth and swallow. Bring our head back to neutral. Bring our chin to the left. Bring our chin all the way back through center to the right. Bring the chin back to the left. And all the way back through center to the right. Bringing our head back to center. Gently tuck our chin and roll forward. Straight legs, seated forward fold. And maybe if that's too intense with the blanket or the bolster under your knees, you can take a second blanket and bring it so that you make a connection with something. Maybe the blanket is too much. Maybe the legs come gently apart so we have room to come deep into this forward stretch. And maybe you hold the bottoms of your feet. Maybe your head comes to the bolster. Maybe you stack your forehead. Gently walking the hands back up. Bring the legs in together. Bring the hands back to the side. Bring the right ear to the right shoulder. And yes, in a traditional restorative class, inhale, bring the head up and over to the other side. The poses are held for 5 to 15 minutes apiece. Inhale back up. Even my gentle people, maybe holding one pose for that length of time may be too intense. Now, I'm going to bring us to a traditional Supta Baddha Konasana. So, bringing the bolster, and maybe if you have blocks or sofa cushion, you could use this up against the wall where you put the blocks and then the bolster. And then I am going to use my blanket, and so I'm going to refold the blanket. And this is one we're going to probably hold for a full 5 minutes because it takes so much work to come into it. And I'm going to fold my blanket long ways and then fold it again so it's in fourths, and then maybe one more time so it almost looks like this little skinny rope or thick rope, however you look at it. And I'm going to bring the base of my spine to the edge of the bolster, and then I'm going to bring the soles of my feet together and take the blanket underneath my feet and wrap one side around under the left leg and take the other side and wrap that around under the right leg. Now maybe you choose to take a second blanket or towel as you roll back down. Now if you want to get really fancy, you can put a towel roll under your neck, and then maybe if you have blocks or sofa cushions, you can put those on either side of your body and gently let your hands come up and feel this ever so gentle Supta Baddha Konasana. Close your eyes. Gently feel the breath coming in through the nose, out through the nose. Maybe coming into your Victoria Ujjayi breath, hearing that ocean hushing sound in the back of your ears. Maybe you turn on some gentle yoga meditative music in the background. Breathing into it. just another minute here. Now gently bring our knees together. I'm going to take this big blanket and use it as a bolster under my knees. I'm going to take my second bolster and bring it just to the base of my shoulder straps and gently arch over in a restorative fish. And again, you can take your second blanket and cover yourself up and gently arch. Now, if that's too intense for the head, you can take a blanket, another blanket, sofa cushion, and help keep your head partially elevated. Gently, mindfully, turn yourself to the left side, and I'm going to take that bolster blanket and bring that between my knees. And this bolster is going to be under my left rib cage. And again, maybe you take and cover yourself as you're on your side, and bringing the forearm to the mat. And you can use the block or the sofa pillow if you wish for your head, or gently let your head hang down. And as you breathe, try and feel your rib cage expand up against the bolster as you take a deep breath in. Gently bringing the hand to the mat, gently pushing up one vertebrae at a time. Now, you can simply roll onto the right side, bring yourself around. I'm going to turn myself around so that I'm still facing the camera. I have a thing about eye contact and being polite and not turning my back on people, unless I'm showing you yoga mudra or cow arms behind my back, and then I typically turn sideways or I turn my back and come back again. That's just me. So we're on our right side, and again I put the blanket between my knees. You don't need to do that. And I'm covering my legs because I like to be warm in my poses. And then gently the bolster again comes about at the base of the scapula. And if you have a sofa cushion, you know, maybe you put the sofa cushion for your head so that your arm can be free and the arm is up, almost in a thread the needle type of position. Your other arm can be at ease by your side or stretch out to the side. And then as you're breathing into it, feeling the lungs expand and exhale. Gently bring the left hand in, and this time we're going to bring our stomach to the bolster. And for those of you who were here Friday night, this we did do this sequence Friday night. Um, I particularly liked it, so I decided to repeat it. And bringing the arms over top, and again, my stomach is in the mat here. My hips are in the mat. My toes are coming straight back under the blanket. I'm bringing my arms over top of the bolster, and my forearms are coming out. My fingers are coming wide. And let's do, as you inhale, push into the bolster with your lungs. Great big lion's breath roar. Yes, I see you, Luna. For those of my medicinal aromatherapy friends, you'll understand this. I decided to repeat my garlic essential oil experiment on my chest. And so I layered it with Helichrysum gymnosto, garlic, and lavender spike. And my chest was still really bright red. And allergies are really heavy, so I put some blue tansy on top of all of that. And she's saying, you know, you really smell tonight. So, yes, I do. But social distancing, people will keep their 6 feet away. Take a great big inhale in. Lion's breath roar. And again, great big inhale. Lion's breath roar. And one more time, inhale, lion's breath, roar. Now, I like potato fists and put my forehead down. You can use a blanket, you can use a block. You use the block for your forehead. Your hands can still come straight out in front. And then gently inhale up. And bringing ourselves back around. Now, coming into restorative bridge, maybe we put the block underneath and gently inhale up and come into restorative bridge with the bolster. Maybe the bolster's too much, and that's too much for me tonight. I used the bolster Friday night. Tonight I just want to use the block, and I'm going to put the block under my hips. Now I want the block down low enough so that it's on my hip bones and sacral spine, not on the lumbar spine. And the knees come up and the palms come up. And gently breathe into this. And smile. Maybe close your fists and then open them. Gently take the block out from underneath. Bring the feet, heel toe the feet apart. Bring the knees together. Bring the arms out in a T. Gently let both knees come over to the right. And you can come cactus arms, or you can bring your arms straight out, iron cross. Gently breathing into this twist. Looking back over the left shoulder. Maybe you pick your right foot up and bring it onto your left knee. Maybe you choose to keep this coming back through center. Gently bring the knees back in together. Just lift up the middle, bring it back down. Let the knees come over to the left. Bring the arms out in a T, cactus arms or iron cross, whichever feels better to you. Gently look to the right as the knees go to the left. Maybe pick up that left foot. And if it becomes too intense with your left foot on that knee, feel free to bring it back to the earth. Honor the hips. Gently come back to center. Bringing the block or the bolster or the sofa cushion back under the hips. And from restorative bridge, maybe we straighten the right leg and feel half of a restorative wheel. Maybe the left leg and bend the right knee. And then gently bring both feet out and feel this gentle wheel. Now, if that's less than feels good on your low back, bend your knee again. And we'll keep the left knee bent for 1 minute. Bring the left foot out and then we'll bend the right knee. Bend the right knee, straighten the left leg. Maybe you have both legs out in front. Bend the left knee. Take the block back out. Bring the block between the thighs. Bring the legs like we're sitting in a chair. Now gentle spinal twist as we come over to the right. Bring that left arm up and out. Coming back through center. Gentle circles with the knees one way. Back around the other way. Let the knees come over to the left as we look to the right. Gently coming back to center. Gentle circles one way. Gentle circles back around the other way. Now, maybe you take the block and bring it back under the tailbone and bring the legs straight up and come into waterfall. If that's too intense on the back, bring your tailbone back to the earth. Maybe, and my favorite version is to bring myself around. I have this wall right here, and so I'm going to put my jacket on here because after legs up the wall, we're going to slide out into Savasana. And maybe you still have your jacket on or your sweatshirt, or and then I'm going to take my blanket and cover my feet. So as I bring my sit bones over next to the wall, or you can put your feet up on the sofa or a chair if you don't have a wall that's available. But I like covering my legs, and they're just in this nice cocoon and they're nice and warm. And I have my jacket on. If you choose, you could put a pillow behind your head. You can cover yourself with another blanket, bringing the palms up, breathing into it. Maybe you choose to stay here for Savasana, or gently stretch yourself out onto the mat so that you're all the way stretched out onto the mat. You can have the bolster under your legs, pillow under your head, however gentle. I like bringing the bolster under my knees and maybe a gentle pillow by your head. Maybe that's too much for those of us who typically do a Savasana straight out on the mat. Take a great big inhale and an audible sigh out. So if you've been consciously breathing at this point, let go of the breath and allow the breath to go on automatic pilot. And as the breath goes on automatic pilot, gently feel the muscles coming at ease, melting down into the earth. I'm gently beaming Reiki energy out to those who wish to receive. If you wish not to receive, ask the energy to pass you by, and it will. It'll go to a house plant or a pet or somebody who, your next door neighbor, whoever needs it. Taking a great big inhale in. Gently wiggle your fingers and toes, turning the head from left to right and right to left. Stretching the arms up overhead, feeling the stretch from our fingers to our toes. Bringing our knees into our chest and gently giving ourselves a hug. Gently roll over onto our right side, pausing and thanking ourselves for our practice. Gently coming up into easy cross-leg. And tonight I'm going to share one of my most favorite mudras, which is actually sign language. And this goes out to my grandchildren and friends and family. And so this is I in sign language. L for love. And this is you. So this hand symbol means I love you. And I mean that in a platonic way. Bringing our hands to heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. May the light within me salute the light within you. And when we are at this place, we are all the same. Namaste. Thank you. I'm going to check in, give everybody a shout out who showed up tonight. Happy holidays, whichever holiday it is that you're celebrating. Nina, Ethel, Tracy, Cindy, happy Easter. Hi, Cindy. Donald, good to see you. Audrey, good to see you. Brittany, good to see you. Jennifer, good to see you. Laura, good to see you. Sarah, I'm happy to see you. Give Henry a kiss goodnight for me. Marie, good to see you. Rob, good to see you. Ron, Donna, good to see you. James, Allie, God bless. Keep yourself safe, honey. Dave, Mitch, good to see you. Thank you for all that you do. I could have used some tech support a few weeks ago. Richard, good to see you. Evelyn, good to see you. Aunt Sandra, happy Easter. Good to see you. Danielle, Bali, good to see you. My level 2 friend. I hope I did Uqualla proud and you understand my garlic. Jonathan, good to see you. Be happy, safe, and healthy. And Josh, my nut son, a big shout out to Weston and Carson, and you will be added in at the beginning of class from here on out. God bless, sending positive energy.